We're live. Okay. So basically I spent the last 10 minutes trying to go live but couldn't go live, and it just kept saying you're going live. So I was just like, oh my god. But so it was a bit of technical problem. So what happened was this. I went to log on, which was fine, but the battery on the laptop had run. So I noticed the laptop was running slow earlier. So I thought, do you know what? 20 minutes before we started, I thought, let me just log off and then I'll log back on. So 20 minutes is enough time to log off, log back on, and all of this type of stuff. So anyway, when I was trying to log back on, it wasn't logging back on. And I had half battery on the laptop. So I thought, well, I know I've got enough battery to switch the laptop back on. But so then I plugged it in and then it started up. Everything's all good, all of that. Plugged in the camera. And then I've got a light behind. Now the light plugs into the laptop. And so as we were starting up, as I was logging on, I thought, let me put the light on, and then it clicked off the camera. So then I went back on, I re-clicked on the camera, and then I thought, you know what, I'll wait till it charges a bit before I put the light on. And then that was it. It just kept whirring, going, you're going live, you're about to go live, or whatever it says. And then it didn't go on. But now I had to switch everything off and then redo it all again, and now we're live. So Mark will be in a moment. It's going to be a short one tonight, only because we've got shopping coming, and it's coming between 7 and 8. However, there is a lot of traffic outside. I think traffic is on diversion. So it's going to take a little while for the van to actually get here, I think, because there'll be traffic on the two main roads. But yeah, the shop is meant to be coming between 7 and 8, so we may need to cut this live short. Mark is just finishing up some work and then he's going to come in, but he was saying to me, oh, football's going to be on tonight. So I'm just like, right, okay. So we would be cutting it short anyway because football's on. But anyway, let's get to it. So what has everyone been up to and what's everyone doing? So I've got my usual, which is my Starbucks. So today I just went for my usual, which is, well, it's not usual because I don't normally go for a venti. Sometimes I go more often for a grande than a venti. But I felt, you know what? I need it. We don't have any real plans this weekend. But we're thinking we'll probably go out tomorrow to do some filming. We're probably going to go uptown, just not sure. Yeah, so we'll just make a decision, I think, tomorrow. So I'm just putting in my straw there. And Mark has got, what's Mark got? I got him a venti chai latte, oat one. So he's drinking that while he's working. I'm putting it over there because that's where our conservatory is and that's where he's working. And yeah, so just got this nice frap. I'm going to give it a taste. I really do like a frap. Well, I like it. So yeah, so nothing planned this weekend. However, it's going to be someone's birthday, and my mum said, oh, can I bake some cakes? And I was like, yeah, all right then. And so I'm thinking I might be baking some cakes. Now, there is something that I want to show you. So I've been watching quite a few of these recipes because I'm thinking, what would I like to do in all of this? So for my nephew's one, so he was going to uni, or he's going to uni. So I baked 2 cakes for his sort of like leaving, sort of like party, dinner, getting ready to go to uni, that type of thing. And so I baked a peanut butter and jam cake, a PB&J. And then I baked an Oreo cake because I know his favorite is Oreo cakes. So anyway, they're both American recipes, but I noticed that they have these, which are baking strips. And basically, you put it around your cake tin, and it gives you a flat cake. So when you stack them, it's just easily stacked. And the way that it works, so you get these strips. This is a very small one, but I'm assuming that is to go if you're going to wrap it around a ramekin. They I thought it was all one size, but they give you different sizes anyway. So basically you soak them in water and then you wrap them around your cake tin. Now the cake tins, that because I just pulled out the first two and I thought they were all the same size, so they were quite large. So when I wrapped them around the cake baking tin, so you soak them in water and then you wrap them around your cake baking tin. Now the recipe that I was baking was a 6-inch cake, so it's quite small. Because normally we bake with an 8-inch or 9-inch, which would be 20 centimeters or 23 centimeters. And so with this one, so basically you put it in water and you wrap it round. And the first two that I pulled out were for bigger tins. And so when you pop them round here, because that you've got two little slits here. So you pop them in and then you tighten it to go around your baking tin. And it was like really big and I was trying to pull it through and I thought this is too big and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, because there's 3 cake tins, I pulled out the third one. And of course, the third one was the one that would fit the smaller cake tin that I was using. But I only had 2 of those and I had 3 cake tins. So anyway, I've ordered another couple. But it really did work. It gave me flat topped cakes. And the reason being is when you bake your cake, hey Richard, I hope you're well. Hiya, no Mark's going to come. He's just finishing up with some work at the moment. I'm putting over that way because that's the conservatory and that's where he's working, but he will be in. He's just sort of working just over there really. So basically you soak these strips and there are makeshift ones that you can do. So basically you can soak some kitchen towel and then you lay the kitchen towel flat and then you wrap it in the foil and then you put the foil around the baking tin. Now, the reason is when you bake a cake, it cooks quite quickly. So the outside cooks quite quickly before it gets to the inside. That's why you get the dome. However, when you put this in water, you don't wring it, but you just squeeze off the excess. You leave it damp. You leave it quite damp. You wrap it around your cake tin. Oh, you're a lot better finally. Oh, good for you. Oh, I'm so pleased you're on the mend. It's not nice being unwell. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, sorry. You wrap this around the tin and you pop it in the oven. You pop your cake tin once you put the batter in. You wrap this around, pop it in the oven. Now, it stops the outside from cooking quicker than the inside, so you get a more even bake. I'd never realized it before. It's an American. I've never seen anybody in the UK use it or do that or whatever. Never heard of them before. It's just that I wanted to make a different cake, and then I got in my mind, oh, do you know what? I'd like to make a peanut butter and jelly cake or peanut butter and jam for you and I, and for anybody in the UK, should I say? So that's what I did, and one of the and I wanted to make an Oreo cake because an Oreo cake is my nephew's favorite cake, and was looking up recipes and found that you use these strips. You can do a makeshift one, like I said. So basically, you would wet like a sheet of kitchen towel, like however many sheets that you want, because however you've got to measure your baking tin. You fold it in half, measure your baking tin. Then you basically wet the kitchen towel, lay it flat, and wrap. Obviously, you fold it in half because otherwise it's going to be too big. Because basically, you kind of want this size or slightly bigger, depending on the size of your baking tin, because it's going to go around. And yeah, so you wet the kitchen towel, you pop it around the foil, so you measure out the foil, and then you fold it so everything is nice and flat, so it's like that. And then you can just wrap it around. So if you're wanting to look to make a more cost-effective thing, then but it's not going to be cost-effective in the long run, but you know what I mean, then yeah, just do a homemade one. But this was brilliant, and it made my cakes flat as I thought, and the cake came out great. I'm not very good with, you know, the old turntable and decorating and stuff like that. But I found that I was not the worst. And I was using my palette knife and everything else. But I did buy a scraper as well. But I didn't know when you use the scraper that would properly flatten it out. There's me using the spatula and then doing the spatula on the top, which was making it pretty flat, but sort of left the top a bit domey. But yeah, and then I was watching all these techniques on how to sort of like get it flat and all this. So now when I bake, I'm going to be baking cakes again. I'll hopefully be a lot more better in having to. The only thing that I'm not very good at is the old, you know, in the squeezing bag, the sort of dolloping the cream on top in your squeezy bag. I can't remember, your icing bag. So I'm not very good at using the icing bag really. So I hope to develop a technique for using the icing bag. But I thoroughly recommend these. I got these on Amazon. They're called Wilton Strips. They come in different sizes. And they do also sell it in Lakeland. So if you're ever on Lakeland, they also sell it on Lakeland. I picked this up in what you call it, on Amazon, and it came with 6 strips, 2 35-inch long ones, 2 25-inch, 2 10-inch long, and yeah, and so that's 6 strips altogether. I've ordered another 6. It costs £21 for 6 strips. But if you just wanted to get sort of like the 2 strips, I think it's something like £11 or something like that. So if you wanted to make it more cost effective, then just get the 2 strips. But I got the 6 strips for £21 or whatever it was. And I've ordered another 2 so that I actually have 3 for the 6-inch baking pans that I bought. And if you want them to cut, so if you like, I put baking parchment at the bottom of my cakes normally, unless it's a pineapple upside down cake, then I don't. But with other cakes, yeah, I normally put baking parchment at the bottom of the pan. I grease it, put baking strips, baking circles. I've got the 2 sizes, 20 and 23 centimeters, which I believe is 9 centimeters and 9 inch and 8 inch, which would be 20 and 23 centimeters, and they work really well. But I bought these 6-inch pans, and I just thought, oh, they're not going to do 6-inch baking parchment, so I didn't even bother to look. But there is a technique, obviously, you can, which is what we've always done back in the day, which is you just grease up the pan with the butter and then you just put flour around it. But sometimes I find it gives it a little bit of a floury taste on the edge of the cake. But I suppose once you do your whether it's a buttercream frosting that you're going to do, or whether it's a cream cheese frosting, then you're not going to get that taste kind of thing. But if you were doing a naked cake or something like that, you would sort of taste the sort of like floured part. You wouldn't really taste it when it's the butter because the butter melts, but when it's floured, it kind of, you don't see it. It's melted into the cake, you don't see it, but it kind of tastes that way. Thanks for the cake tip. Thanks for the cake tip. As I'm not the best with sponges, right? So it depends, like if you've got to stack them or if you're going to, put cream in the middle and all of that type of stuff. So it's really good. My bread pudding is a lot fillings than the shops. Oh, right. Yes. Well, you can properly fill it as you want to. Do you know what I mean? That's the best about homemade stuff. Mine's properly done. The 1800 recipe made me smile heavenly. Oh, good for you. Do you know what? It's nice when you can bake something and you're really satisfied with it. I really like that. Oh my God, Lakeland is in my local Westfield, Stratford. Yes, exactly. So definitely go there. Dan M, tip for Cheesecake Factory. Don't think you can eat cheesecake for dinner. Portions so big, it's either one or the other. Exactly. If you go to the Cheesecake Factory, that's right. The cheesecake is huge. It's really big. I have to share it with Mark, and luckily for me, Mark's got a really big appetite. So he eats most of the cheesecake, and we normally get the pineapple one because similar to pineapple upside down. So we normally go for the pineapple cheesecake. And I think it is called pineapple upside down cheesecake, I think. But yeah, that's the one we normally go for. But like I said, luckily Mark's got a big old appetite. But yeah, I mean, if you're into baking and if you're into, yeah, definitely. I'm not being sponsored by Wilton or anything, by the way. It's just that someone mentioned it when I was watching their the way that they were doing things, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I didn't know whether they would do them here, but Lakeland also do a version, but it's the Lakeland's own version. It's not the Wilton version, and I see it's silver. Um, what's the flavor? Bailey's behind me. Right. Well, I've got so if we start from this one is the red velvet cupcake, and then the next one is Eton mess, and then the next one is strawberries and cream, and then the next one is pina colada. The next one is birthday cake. That one is almond. And then I don't have my glasses, but I believe that is the pumpkin spice. There's my glasses right there. So let me have a look. Yeah, so that one is the pumpkin spice. I don't know what the other one is next to it. I'll have to have a look. And then it's the chocolate orange. Let me have a quick look. All right. So this one is the pumpkin spice, that one here. This one is the apple pie, that one. And then I've got the orange, I've got the orange truffle. And then I've got the caramel, the salted caramel. So that's all the flavors. So yeah, so red velvet, Eton mesh, strawberries and cream, pina colada, birthday cake, almond, pumpkin spice, apple pie, orange truffle, and salted caramel. So I've got quite a few. In fact, if I'm lucky, I've got another one because we've got a Tesco shop coming. So if I'm lucky, I'll be getting another flavor today. Never knew there were so many. I know, right? So I've got another one coming in the shop if I'm lucky, if it turns up, because sometimes you order these things and it's, oh yeah, sorry, it wasn't in stock. So I'm just hoping that the next one that comes, it won't be able to fit on this shelf, unfortunately. But if when on Tuesday, hopefully I'll be able to show it to you. But yeah, so I know so many flavors, right? But I get them when they're sort of like, so as soon as a new flavor comes out, I'm always on the lookout. I try to get it. But the one that I've missed, which I really, really wanted, there's two actually that I've missed, which I really would have liked. One, I think they did a mint one at one point, and the other one was chocolate cherry. And do you know what? What upsets me is Mark's brother and his girlfriend were actually in the States, and they stopped it about a month before they were coming back. So I was just like, oh no, why have you stopped the chocolate cherry? It would have been the one flavor. I mean, other than pina colada, because if I had to choose between pina colada and chocolate cherry, it would have been a very, very difficult decision because they're both my favorite flavors. Like pina colada is obviously my favorite cocktail, but Black Forest Gatto, chocolate cherry, is my favorite cake. So it would have been a very difficult choice to choose between the two of them. So, my hole near the kitchen is bigger and has mini village with a railway. Do you know what? I just ordered some little characters to go on my mini village. So I shall be, obviously it's not Christmas yet, but I've got a Christmas mini village and I'm hoping to sort of like start putting that up soon. So I'll be doing that. But yeah, this is the serving hatch. Yeah. It's not a ginormous one, but it's great when you need to pass things in and out. Obviously not at the moment because I've got all my Baileys there, but I've got pretty much double of all these flavors except for the almond. I don't have a double of the almond and I don't have the double of the pumpkin. or the chocolate orange, but the rest of them I've got doubles of. So and the new one I don't have a double of at the moment. I've also got a chocolate one. Actually, I don't even know where the chocolate one is. I've got a chocolate one, but I don't have a double of that one either. But the majority of the rest I've got. So I've got double of the red velvet, double of the eaten mess, double of the strawberries and cream, double of the pina colada, and double of the birthday cake. And I think I've got double of the apple one, the apple pie. Yeah, double of the apple pie as well. And double of the salted caramel. So pretty much almost double of all of them. You never know, right? You never know. I like to keep these flavors because they become, do you know what I mean? They almost become like vintage flavors. So I like to keep a bottle, an extra bottle. And then these ones are going to be for the drinking and the other ones are going to be for the saving. That's right, the saving. But yeah, so this week I'm going to be baking some cakes for someone's birthday. And I just don't know which cakes at the moment, but one of the ones that I do want to bake is something that's really big in the States. It's been really big in the States lately, which is lemon and blueberry. So lemon and blueberry cake, I think. So basically the cream cheese frosting will be the lemon part and then the cake will be the blueberry part. Doesn't it sound amazing? Like a lot of the if any of you know, I love Universal Studios and Disney, the Disney parks in Florida. And in Universal Studios, they had this sort of like crepe cart or pancake cart. And in it, it's like, so one of the flavors is like blueberries and cheesecake lemon, blueberries and lemon cream cheese frosting. And it looked absolutely amazing. And when I was thinking of ideas of what I'm going to bake a cake, of what I'm going to bake for a cake, it didn't even come to my mind to do the blueberry. I was just flicking through different recipes thinking, you know, let me find a recipe that could be cool to bake. And that came up and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to do that as a birthday cake. It looks really, really good. However, the recipe is for the 6-inch one. And I don't know how. I'm going to do a few cakes anyway. But I really wanted to do that one. And I thought maybe I could do the Oreo cookies as well. So I might do, because the Oreo cookie cake went down quite well. It was the first one to go. But do you know what? It had a butter, frosting. And the problem with the buttercream frosting, it had like 7 cups of icing sugar. Like, now cups is a serving size. Hey Andrea, how are you? Are you well? I hope you're well. Let me read. I had a sneak peek at the Christmas ears you buy and Star Wars themed. Oh really? I had a look at some ears today, funnily enough. These ones which are fast becoming my favorite ears. I love these. These are in the sale at the moment, and I'm debating whether to get another pair. Isn't that terrible to debate whether I'm going to get another pair of ears, but the same ones? Because sometimes I've got another favorite pair of ears, which I wore on Tuesday, I think it was, but the bow has faded. And wouldn't it have been nice if I'd got another pair? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes these things get ruined, and then you want to get another pair. Great like every day. Well, that's brilliant. Do you know what? If you can feel great like every day, what, you're ahead of the game. You are ahead of the game. So sorry, going back to the cakes. So the recipe had a buttercream frosting for the Oreo cookies and had like 7 cups. Now 7 cups is about 250 mils roughly. And it 7, because cups is a measurement, and 7 of those, 7 in a buttercream frosting. That's too much. It'd be like me giving diabetes as a gift to someone. Can you imagine? Oh, here you go. Have a plate of diabetes. Next one. Oh yes, have a plate of diabetes. I said no. I can't do 7 cups of sugar for a buttercream frosting. That's madness. So I then cut it down, and Have you both been to Forbidden Planet? Mark, I tell you what, Mark would live in Forbidden Planet if he could. He absolutely loves it. He took my nephew there. I think my nephew liked it, but he wasn't as into it as Mark is. Like Mark was proper into Forbidden Planet. It's a great shop though. I do like going in there, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming with the amount of people that are in there, because sometimes it is packed, and I'm not one for like all big crowds and stuff. So sometimes if Mark's off, it's then better to go to the shop because it's a lot quieter sort of during the week than it would be on the weekend. But obviously we're off most weekends, so but yeah, love it. But yeah, so I adjusted the recipe for the buttercream frosting. But what I'm going to do now next time is I'm going to do a cream cheese frosting. So when I bake this cake, it will be a cream cheese frosting and not a buttercream frosting. I feel like 7 cups of icing sugar is too much. And did you know, found 14. Hi, how are you? I hope you're well. With did you know that icing sugar is basically just normal sugar, but they've just blitzed it in a grinder? So basically it's just, you can, if you run out of icing sugar, you just pop some in a blender, blend it up, and now you've got icing sugar. How mad is that? It blew my mind when I found that out, and I just thought, well, that's annoying. Anytime you've run out of icing sugar and you think, oh, I don't have icing sugar, well, you can now just blend up your normal caster sugar. That's crazy to me. So yeah, so the 2 cakes that I have in mind, Oreo cookies, but now I'm going to do it with the cream cheese frosting. And then I'm going to do the other one with OMG, I never knew that. You learn something new every day. This is what when I learned that, I just thought, oh my God, I've learned something new. So yeah, just blitz it up. So if you ever lose it, just blitz it up. Yum, sounds delicious. Oreo cookie. Do you know what? I made it for my nephew. It was sort of like a leaving dinner because he's going to uni and that. And it was the cake to go first. Like everybody wanted to have it. I wasn't really impressed, I've got to say, with the buttercream filling. So I'm not going to do that again. But everybody really enjoyed it. But I'm not doing that buttercream business again. I'm going to do cream cheese frosting. And it's going to be really good with the cream cheese frosting. Even now when I'm thinking, yeah, I should have done that in the beginning. And I had cream cheese obviously in the fridge. But this time, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an Oreo cookie with a cream cheese frosting, and I'm also going to do that with the blueberry and the lemon as well. I'm going to do that, and then there might be a couple of other cakes that I'm bouncing around in my head thinking that's what I'm going to make, because I know I'm going to make a few cakes. I think the cream cheese frosting will go perfect with it. Yeah, I think so too. And what I might even do as well is blend up some of the Oreo cookies and put that in the cream cheese frosting as well. I think that could be good. Or I might just leave it as smooth and then just decorate the bottom with cream cheese frosting. And then with the other one, I did a chocolate ganache along the top. But my mistake was I did the topping, but I should have waited till it dried a bit. So when I poured it on top, and you get that drip effect, don't you? Which is great. And I had put like Oreo cookies. So what I need to do this time is do the drip effect again, but not decorate the bottom. And then after it's drizzled down and when it's dried a bit, I might bung it in the fridge. Afterwards, then put the Oreo cookies around the bottom, or crumbs of the Oreo cookies at the bottom, and then some Oreo cookies at the top. And that's what I'm going to do next time, I think. One place we got to do a collab is at Cruise Hill at Christmas time. Yeah, you were mentioning that. All right. Let me get together with Mark, and then I'll message you, and then we'll pick a date and then see what date we're going to do that, because that sounds quite good, and I know Mark will be excited. I think in blending Oreo cookie would taste good and look pretty too. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, if I decorate the bottom with it, it's just like, you know, when you have like all these ideas and you're just thinking in your mind, can you picture it in your mind what it's going to look like? And I'm thinking, I did something once with So basically, I made a Pina Colada cake. So it had Malibu in it, was pineapple, and it had coconut. However, when I did the cream cheese frosting, it looked too lumpy with the pineapple and the coconut in it. So I learned from that mistake and I thought, right, so this time what I'm going to do is I will coat the cake and then just sprinkle it on top, like sprinkle coconut on top and bits of pineapple on top, rather than blending it in with the cream. But maybe I might use the syrup from the tin and then pour that in and then blend it up so you get the taste. And then I've also got coconut extract, which is really difficult to get, by the way. So so that it's not an alcohol, and so that there's no alcohol in the cake, I can use a bit of the coconut extract and a bit of the coconut, a bit of the pineapple syrup, and then blend that up in the cream cheese, obviously along with some icing sugar, and then coat the cake and then decorate cake, and it will still be, but it will be an alcohol-free pina colada cake, non-alcoholic. So that'll be good for people who don't drink alcohol and stuff like that. Is it a layered cake? It's only with the pineapple one, it's just 2 layers, but with the Oreo cookie, it's 3 layers, and with the lemon and blueberry, that is also 3 layers as well. But like I said, once you put these strips around the tin, so you soak these in water. So just get a cup of water, so like this, and then just pop it in, leave it in there, let that soak up. Then just take off the excess. Don't wring it, just take off the excess. Put that round your baking tin once, or put your batter in it. Then put your wet strip around it, and then pop that in the oven. And it's something like ridiculous because it's small. It's something like 25 minutes, if that, or 20 minutes even. Then wait for all your 3 cakes to bake, and then let them cool down. Get your rack, pop them out let it cool down in the tin for a few minutes, say like 5 to 10 minutes. Then you can turn them out on the rack, let that cool completely, and then start with your buttercream frosting or your cream cheese frosting, and then pop that in. And then when you stack them, because you would have used the cold strip, your cakes will be flat. So there's no need to get your wire cutter and start cutting off the tops of cakes and stuff, or cutting cakes in half and that. You can already use because they're flat, you can then just stack them on one another. And yeah, and they won't fall to the side and all this. Well, it depends how you distribute your cream, that is, or whatever filling that you're going to do. So as long as you do your filling correctly, then it won't fall from the side to side or anything like that. But to bake it with a flat top is excellent. I never knew that that's what these strips were for. It's just that I saw somebody doing it and I thought, oh my God, let me try it out. And I did, and it worked brilliantly. If not Cruise Hill, your reaction going to be priceless. Ah, bless you. So yeah, we'll definitely see. Hey Bunga, where's Mark? He's just working, but he's supposed to be coming back in. But I'm telling you, the way that he's carrying on, I don't think he's going to be coming back in. We've got shopping being delivered between 7 and 8. So guys, I'm going to have to go as soon as the doorbell rings, and then bring in all the shopping. But Mark wanted to finish early anyway, a little bit early. I think he was going to perhaps finish about 7:30, 7:45, because I think football's on tonight or something he was saying. So, I'll have to endure that for the evening. Football, imagine. Who wants to spend their evening watching that? But there we go. Mark's in his glass house. Yep, they call it the conservatory. Exactly. Do you guys have a TikTok? Yes, we do. We do have a TikTok. And from time to time, there are different videos on the TikTok than on YouTube. And it will be Mark and Kelly 1. So at Mark and Kelly 1. And you'll find us. Or did I put it at Mark and Kelly's Trips, Tips and Things? It is under Mark and Kelly's Trips, Tips and Things, but with TikTok, our handle is at Mark and Kelly 1, I believe. So I'm just having a look for it now. So yeah, Mark and Kelly 1, at Mark and Kelly 1. So it's Mark and Kelly's Trips, Tips and Things. You'll find us on Instagram and on TikTok. But yeah, obviously with the little TikToks, and also on the we do the shorts as well, which sometimes like I'm trying to do like several videos in sort of like an hour. So I'm trying to do the TikTok, then the Instagram one, and then the YouTube one. And sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not all the same. It's just what I'm doing that morning and what I can fit in. So it not all the videos that you get on TikTok, YouTube, all will be the same videos that you get on YouTube short. They're all, I try to make them all different, but not all the time. Sometimes it's just the same. It might be a different song, might be different clips rearranged, but yeah. England, yeah. Now I have to endure that for the evening. I used to have TikTok before name change. I got bored of it. Okay, we'll follow. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Found 14. Thank you. That's so lovely. Yeah, do you know what? It's difficult because I try to um do videos as often as I can, but obviously I get caught up doing everyday life, doing everyday things. But I do try to keep up with the two ones that I try to keep the most up with is YouTube and TikTok. And at the moment, it's really I can sort of do like YouTube shorts quite quickly, but it's just I feel like with the YouTube shorts, it's quite limited compared to TikTok. And with TikTok, there are more features on it and there are more things that you can do on it than you can do on shorts, on the YouTube shorts, which is a real shame. Um, and they've got all the same music on YouTube shorts, but if you do it longer than 15 seconds, it's like, oh yeah, we can't use this in some countries, or we can't do that, and all of this. And so you're limited to sort of like 15 seconds. But with TikTok, at least you can extend that to 6. So if I've seen something really good, 60 seconds or 3 minutes, if I've seen something good, I can really sort of like be a bit more creative with it. We went to Italy and there were so many. I mean, if you get a chance, guys, go down to Italy. Even if you're not going to spend any money there, of which you don't have to do, it doesn't cost anything to go look around somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Pop down to Liverpool Street, go into Italy, and it's like this Italian supermarket. But they also do food there. They do these luscious cakes there, which is as soon as you walk in the door, that's the display of cakes that you see. It looks amazing. Those cakes look and taste amazing. I've got to say, they are really good. And you won't be disappointed. But the cakes are very expensive. They're like £6 something, and the cakes are quite small. And the other cake place, I mean, I can recommend a few cake places that I've been to. So if you're ever in London, I'll tell you them in just a minute. I did one for TikTok, actually, the like good bakeries in London. I like the little day clips on TikTok, yeah, and the cooking content. I find it fun. Of course, YouTube videos. Do you know what? Uh, it's the only thing that I find quite difficult on TikTok, which is to do a recipe, and I'm trying to get the balance. But I will do. It just takes me a little bit, but you can, yeah, like, so I see some people doing their recipes and it's like bang 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 bang, and it's just like, how are you able to sort of like, do you know what I mean? But I have done one which was a couple of my earlier videos, like the real early ones. I was sort of like able to get a lot in, but I feel like I don't want to cheat someone in the sense that I'm not telling them the full recipe or something like that. Because when you see things and you want to do those, do you see what I'm saying? You want to do those recipes as well. Because I see these recipes and I think, oh God, wouldn't it be good to make that? Wouldn't it be good to make that? And then like some of the people though, they do have web pages that you can go to and see how, you know, what the recipe is and all that. Because like I said, you're very limited in what you can show. And for the first time, I did a TikTok the other day, and for the first time, the one that I did was great bakeries in London, and I was actually able to name each clip. Whereas that's when I've tried to do that before, it's not allowed me. So when I had to do the adjust or the edit feature, it's not allowed me to name each clip before. So this was really good that I could actually name each clip as I was going along to tell you which bakery it was, because there's nothing worse than seeing all these great cakes and you don't know which bakery. Luckily, what I do, I actually film the title, the sort. So when I'm outside the shop, I sort of film it as I'm going along, and then I know that I can actually put that in the sequence, so you all know where it is, or all know the name, and then Google it. But this time I was actually able to put the area, so the name and the area, and I was like so happy because obviously I want to let you guys know, hey, there's this great cake shop here. I can thoroughly recommend Arome, which is in Covent Garden, and it was Sam. So there's a guy, Sam, and he's on Instagram, and he contacted us. He came down last year. And we were in London, and he thoroughly recommended Arome. We didn't get a chance to go that trip, but on another trip I went, and it was great. They are closed Monday and Tuesday, so be wary of that. They're closed Monday and Tuesdays. Yeah, so Arome is definitely one of them, and the other place is Chestnut Bakery. That's in Floral Street, and that's in Covent Garden. Great place to go. You got to get to these places early if you want what they have on offer. They will still have loads of great things on offer, but the best things are in the morning and they get sold out. But yeah, Arome and Chestnut Bakery, Gales. Now Gales is quite good because there's quite a few around, but I went to the Gales in Soho, and I brought back a salmon bagel, and that salmon bagel was packed. It was packed. They've got so many. So even if you're not into salmon, even if you're not into salmon bagels, there are other, treats there. Like there were great sausage rolls, but I've got to say, for me, their savory stuff was better than their sweet stuff that I tried. But in Chestnut Bakery, their sweet and savory stuff is good. And in Arome, I can tell you, go for the honey toast. That is so good. So good. And creme. Again, Sam introduced us to creme. That was really good. There's also a place which I didn't get a chance to put on there, but there's a place called Maitre Choux, and they are in Soho, and they do really great eclairs. So all different types of eclairs. I'm telling you guys, it's true. It is a bit pricey, but if you see something, like if you go onto their Google webpage and you think, oh, do you know what? Google webpage. If you Google and go to their webpage, and you think, do you know what? I just want to get one or two items. Yeah, thoroughly worth it. Thoroughly worth it. And there's a girl called Julia at the Covent Garden store. I think she's the manager there, and she will definitely tell you which are the really good products to try. And she told me to try a tahini cookie. I've got to say that's probably one of the best cookies that I've tasted in a long time. So much so, I want to try and replicate it myself. So I've been looking up at recipes. But it's a sesame seed and tahini cookie. It was so good. So good. Let's have a look. Oh my God, I've got to go there. Yeah, the Italian vibe. This is Italy. Great. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. And part Essex and part Isle of Wight. I'm part Italian. Oh, are you? And part Essex, and of course part Isle of Wight. Bless you. So yeah, definitely go down to Italy. Italy, you will not be disappointed. Yeah, because they go so quickly and in a short amount of time. I understand. Yeah, me too at sometimes. Do you know what? And you really want to get these recipes, and you just think, oh, but I love watching them. I love watching all the food ones. I watch quite a lot of them actually. Or I check the comments. Exactly. Sometimes they do put it in the comments. Not always, but sometimes they do put it in the comments. So I do exactly the same as you. Here's a tip. Blind and people can hear YouTube. Yeah, that's why I do good thumbnails and talk a lot. Exactly. So I think when we do a live as well, some people listen to it. I know when Georgina, she goes back and she'll listen to it as a podcast. And I think a few people probably do that. They probably go back and listen to us as a podcast, or listen to any live as a podcast. So, and it's a good amount of time because we talk for quite a long time. So I think that is really good to sort of be sitting at your desk, or you want something in the background and we're just, talking to you. But yeah, I feel like to appeal to blind people as well, and they can just listen. I feel that's great. I think that's brilliant. Um, uh, Salmon. Oh yeah, salmon cream cheese bagel. Oh, what a treat! I haven't had that in such a long while. I'm telling you, if you if you are out, I mean, you could make it at home. Do you know what I mean? But if you're out and you're going to eat something, I'm telling you, go to Gale's. The Gale's in Soho anyway. I don't know about all the others because that was the only one that I went to. And it was worth it. It was worth them. It was packed. It was stacked. There was like a little bit of rocket in there, and there was cream cheese, and there was some. But I've got to say, it was good, and it was on like a multi-seed bagel, so it had like black sesame seeds and normal sesame seeds, I think it was. But I've got to say, it was really good. More Mark's type of thing than mine. I do like salmon, but I normally like it when I'm having sushi or something like that. And I don't mind it because sometimes we make avocado. So we'll have like avocado. I'll put a bit of chili in there, a bit of salt, bit of lemon, and obviously mix that, spread that on toast, bit of black pepper, cracked like fresh cracked black pepper, and salmon on the top, and that's so delicious. It's really, really good. I'm gonna go now, but take care and enjoy your evening. Yes, we'll do. Thank you for joining us, Richard. Have a good evening and hopefully catch up soon. And I'm glad you're feeling better, by the way. So take care. Bye. It doesn't look like Mark's going to join us on this live. I'm looking at him and he's still on his laptop. He doesn't look like he's finishing anytime soon. But yeah, yes, I will have to go. Oh, bless you. Okay, found 14. Take care, and I hope you join us again. So yeah, have a lovely weekend, everyone. Do you know what I mean? So be safe. So yeah, so I think this weekend I'm going to be looking at a lot of recipes. I've still got some editing to do because I've still got Brussels videos to edit, and it was my intention to edit some videos today. Bye. Oh, you're so welcome, and thank you for joining us. Thank you. Hopefully catch you next time, Found 14. So yeah, so I'm going to be looking at recipes. I'm going to be baking. I'm not going to be baking tomorrow, but at some point this weekend I will be baking. I don't know what recipes. I've got some in mind. And yeah, I baked, what did I bake the other day? I baked a pineapple upside down cake and I wasn't paying attention and I left it in for a bit too long and I burnt, well, the top of it, which ended up being the bottom of it. Not too bad, but it's getting a bit dark. But of course, when you flip it over, you get that lovely caramel sort of like pineapple top. See you next time. And yes, hopefully I catch. Yes, of course. Take care. Bye. I hope you do catch it next time. Bye. So yeah, and you didn't even taste that it was slightly overdone on the underside. And also I feel like when you do a pineapple upside down cake, the sponge, they don't do a thick sponge. So this time, like when I make mine, I do a thicker sponge. So when you're cutting it, you get a nice wedge of cake, uh, pineapple and caramel ratio. And I also do more caramel. So I do more caramel than what the recipe requires because I feel like caramel, you can't get better than caramel, pineapple, and a sponge cake. You can't get better than that. So when I do my cakes, I put more caramel on it and I do a thicker cake base. So it's nice, it's spongy, it's light, and it's caramelly. And caramel goes really, I don't know why, but caramel does go really well with pineapple. Um, the big old debate of whether pineapple should be on a pizza is a no for me because for me the taste does not go. It really doesn't. Ham and pineapple for me doesn't go. Although ham and watermelon is really good. So I like watermelon. I like the ham wrapped watermelon. I feel that's delicious. Like it's got to be prosciutto. Mark's here.
Hello! Oh, God, I'm so sorry. It's been an absolute nightmare at work. It's been so busy. So apologies, everybody. got quite a few people on. Fan 14,
Yeah.
hello again.
Oh
Richard.
no, she's gone now,
Oh.
or he's gone. I'm not sure. He. You have to
gone.
let us know next time, fan 14. Yeah. A few people had to go. But we've got shopping coming soon anyway.
I know.
So we're gonna have to finish early anyway.
So sorry, everybody. It was a bit of a nightmare today for me. So I had so much to do and catch up on, but I'm finally here. So for those of you that are still on, I hope you're good. I hope you're well. Apologies for anything. What were you guys talking about?
We were talking about. Oh, do you want to show people what we bought at Italy? Because I don't think we showed them that.
No, I did not.
Okay, so when we went shopping at Italy, I saw these and I just thought, you know what? I might put them on a cake. So they are mini meringues.
So they look like, I don't know if you can see them as well. They look like little biscuits, but they're not. They're actually meringues. In there, the one on the right, the one on my right, is got chocolate pieces in them. The one on the left, or my left, is got hazelnut
and caramel, I think.
Now, because they're so well wrapped, you can't smell through them. But
because they're sealed. But the ones that I did want to get were like mini amaretto biscuits, and they didn't have any.
Did you show the pastas?
No, I didn't.
So we also got some squid ink pasta, which is the. There we go. So these are imported from Italy. Where are they from? Yeah, in Pisa. Yeah. There we are.
But Richard Adventure said he has to go there because he's part Italian.
Yeah, you have to go, Richard.
Yeah, and so he said he's going to go there. He's left us at the moment. I think he's probably going to go and have dinner or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, you can't show that because you've eaten the majority
No, I've eaten
of
them
it.
all. I was going to show some cakes, but I won't show that because it's a half-eaten cake.
Yeah. So basically, Mark's brother and his girlfriend Siobhan, so Ben and Siobhan, they lovely bought us some donut time. I couldn't remember the name of them. Haven't had them in so long.
The other thing we got is these. Now, what was interesting about these as well, these are different types of pastas that they sell, but the actual colours are all natural flavourings as well. So the purple one that you can see there right at the top is actually flavoured by beetroot to make it colour.
That's the purple one there. What's the pink one?
The pink one. So the yellow one is turmeric and mustard they've got in here. So it doesn't say what's what, but they do have all natural colours. So I don't know how they get the green one, but there you go.
I think it's spinach.
It could be.
Yeah, spinach flour.
So spinach flour. So that's how you get the green one. So that's how. So what's nice about it, they're all natural ingredients.
Yeah.
Again, we will try these at some point and then let you guys know how they taste. But they do look amazing. And last but not least, which is only one left, is our little Biscotti biscuit. This little baby bad boy there, but there you are. That's in the packet that we get there. It's really nice, that was as well. Definitely recommend you getting Biscotti.
Yeah, I was talking them through. Do you know when I
cake bands?
Yeah, so these cakes. So like talking you guys through. And did you know that when a cake bakes, the outside bakes first before it gets to the inside, and that's why you get the dome.
I only know that because you told me.
Yeah, and it's these strips. Once you wet them and pop them in. So then you've got a very even bake, and now, that's why.
Actual fact, so Kelly is right. The emphasis is very much on the word wet. You have to wet these.
Yeah, so you have a glass and then you soak them in your glass of water.
I think if you do put them in dry, it's going to make absolutely no difference. Probably actually do the opposite effect, I'd imagine, and bake the cake quicker.
Bake the cake quicker, yeah.
But yeah, so although they are cloth, they are obviously heat resistant, so they can go to that temperature. But again, like Kelly said, put them in a glass of water and let them soak for a while.
Yeah.
At least, what did he say? Was it 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
And then that will then absorb in there. You don't want them dripping wet.
But you just want to take off the excess. So you will just do that, but have them sort of like still wet. And then you just wrap it around your cake. But what I was saying to you, when I got them, I didn't realise they were different sizes. No. I thought they were all the same size. I've just ordered another 6. So like like this one is sort of short, but I'm assuming this would be maybe for a ramekin, like if you're doing souffles maybe or something. You might put them.
Souffle might be different. I suppose a little mini cake could be a muffin.
Yeah,
a little bit as well. So there you are. Look at that. Or you can have it as a nice little wristband if you're trying to get into a
group of some sort.
Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, that's it. But I had never heard of cake brands before.
Never. I
never heard of cake brands.
I
before.
saw that Lakeland were doing one. They were
Yeah.
doing like a grey one, which is thicker than this. But I didn't know what they were for. But yeah, I mean Lakeland. So if you are into sort of baking cakes and things like that, check out Lakeland. They do have one there. I got these strips on Amazon, and yeah. Guys, quick question: how long does a chicken last in a freezer?
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Dan. I think normally it will tell you on the packet, and it depends on the size, but normally I'd say a month or two.
Well, no, I think you can go up to 3 months. The
really?
trouble is you've got with stuff in the freezer. Oh, that's weird. I put one in last night and it was dead in the morning. But you got us there. That's a good one, actually. I might use that one.
Very Mark's sense of humour.
That is my sense of humour. I quite like that one as well. Guy walks into a fish and chip shop and says, "Can I have cod and chips twice, please?" The guy behind the counter said, "No, it's all right. I heard you the first time." Guy walks into a fish and chip shop, orders fish and chips. The guy says, "Hang on a minute, is this fish cooked?" He said, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "Well, he's eating all the chips."
I didn't understand that one.
Oh, there's fish and chips. The cod and chips comes, all the chips are gone. And he goes, "Well, is it cooked?" He said, "Well, no, he's eating all the chips."
Okay, anyway, the dad jokes, right? But yeah.
Yeah. Someone said with fish fingers. I put some fish fingers on to cook. They said, "Oh, how long?" "Oh, about 3 inches."
Dan, what have you started?
Dan, you're brilliant. You're a genius. I do like that one as well. I thought that was a serious question about.
Yes, exactly.
I was thinking, well, I think it's 3 months.
I was thinking freezer burn and all of these.
Yeah, I was going to talk about freezer burn and bore you with that, but I'm glad you cut us in there. That's a good one. Have you got any more? Do tell us if you've got any more jokes, because I will be interested in that. That'd be quite funny. I do have some more, but the trouble is I can't really do them live on air, the ones I know. But there are some other jokes I could probably tell. I just have to think of them now as well. There's one of those things. Do you know what? One thing I found now, because I work from home a lot, and you're not having that office interaction. So one thing I found is you don't tell so many jokes in the office. You don't, obviously, virtually. When you do a virtual call to someone, I've got with a purpose. I would never, like, if I was in the office, and I see somebody, I'll go, "Oh, how are you?" and then just have a chat with them. You don't do that in a virtual call. You don't just randomly phone someone up, which you could do, but I never do. Just say, "Oh, do you want to have a little chat?"
Do you know what it is for me? And it's going to sound very, very strange because I'm a receptionist by trade, and I don't like small talk.
Don't you?
No. So you know, when you're in a lift, right, with someone, it's like,
but everybody does small talk.
Oh yeah. I'm not one of those people, and you're like, "Oh yeah," or when you're writing out an email, you have to say, "Hi, how are you? Hope you had a good weekend," and blah blah blah. And I'm not one of these people. I'm just like one of these people that just get straight to the "Hi, can you let me know?" Da 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 da, and then I have to go delete. "Hi, did you have a good weekend?"
Now these are called soft skills. This is where you learn to interact with people with soft skills.
Yeah.
So one of the things about getting people on site is to, like, with a Dan sense of humour, is to have that. Is to have people that will actually join, get them invade. And it's a good way, actually, to meet, to start a conversation with a joke like that. I thought that was quite good.
Do you know what it is? I think for me, because when I'm at work, I'm in my work mode. So I'm just like, bang, bang, let's get on with the work kind of thing. So maybe I save all my small talk for guests and visitors. I'm like, "Hi, how are you?"
I'll tell your family that when they come round.
Yeah. Oh no, my family are the same. They're the same as me.
What, was no small talk?
Yeah. There's no such a thing as small, because that's how we are.
But small talk is just a natural thing. I mean, I'll do that as well. Like you say, if you're in a room with somebody you don't really know, or I'll tell you what, this happens to a lot if I'm at work, is when they join, especially virtually and in person. Is when you're in a meeting. So you turn up to a meeting early, which I always try and do, and there's 1 or 2 people maybe in there who I don't really know, or I don't know that well. So then you're in this office and you're quiet, and it's is a really awkward silence. So silence. So you've either got two things. You either just sit in silence, which I don't quite like doing, or you make small talk. So you just say, "Oh, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while." The usual. How are things? What you up to? How you getting on? And then that's the kind of small talk you would do.
See, I'm comfortable with silence. If I got in a lift with someone, I don't have to talk to them. I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, then. So what would you do then? And went, "Oh, hello, Kelly. How are you?"
Then I would talk. But only because I have to, because someone's acknowledged. Do you know what I mean? I could get in a lift and just be like.
Would you though, if that's the case? But don't you find, not rude, but do you give? I bet you do. You give off a vibe that you don't want to be spoken to.
I do give off a vibe because people have told me that before. But I think the vibe that I give off is more like it's more like an air or something. Like I feel like they don't think that I'm funny or this or that. Do you see what I'm saying? But once they get to know me, they do realize that actually that I'm nothing like what they thought. But it's amazing how many people actually take the time to get to know you. And I think that's their comfortability. Did you see what I'm saying? Because, like, if they're comfortable within themselves, they'll take the time to get to know you, which is fine. Yeah. But if they're not comfortable within themselves, or they're not comfortable with a situation, they won't get to take the time to get to know you.
So, guys, over to you. Where do you stand on small talk? Do you like small talk? Do you not mind it, or does it irritate you? Is there anybody you try and avoid small talk? There was an old Mickey Flanagan joke where he does that as well. So he said, I got talking to my neighbour, and now I'm duty bound to chat to him for the rest of my life. So he said that as well. How when you start walking past somebody, you said there's you have the usual hello, and Dan said, this live is helping me through my marriage breakup. Oh dear. Split up due to my football obsession. I shouldn't laugh in case you actually mean it. So well, I've got a football obsession too.
He's stroking my cheek because we might be in the same situation that you'll be in.
Dan. So Dan, do you have any more jokes though? Was with her for 8 seasons. That's a good one. I like that one as well. Have you got any more ones? I'm trying to think, I haven't had any jokes for ages.
Yeah, I'm not that type of person.
No.
I'm not that type of person to sort of like, like sit down and don't get me wrong. I'm the sort of person, if you know me and we're friends, we can sit down, we'll have a laugh. We'll laugh all night. We'll have drinks and stuff like that. But I don't like, do you know what I think deep down inside, I don't like falseness. That's what it is.
But you see, these are brilliant ones because these are great icebreakers.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that. That's not what's in dispute here. Like, if you're funny, you're funny. But if you're just talking for the sake of talking, that's not for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in a lift with someone and they genuinely want to talk to me, they'll genuinely talk to you. But if they're just in the lift and they don't like the silence because it's awkward, that's different. That's false.
Well, I'll tell you something as well. What is interesting actually with the comedy thing, like Dan is saying there, jokes about, I was reading this thing about jokes about, so in England, obviously there used to be, you don't get it so much now, but people joke about their mother-in-law. And there was one British comedian that he did this tour all around the world with his comedy set. And he went to Japan to do his comedy set, and he's doing these jokes about mother-in-laws. But they said in Japan, they didn't get it because in Japan, a mother-in-law is a very revered position. Yeah. And obviously in the UK, there's a joke about a mother-in-law being annoying and what have you, but they didn't have that. So he said it was very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
Ken Dodd, actually, with a British comedian, he said he created a comedy map when he was a comic of Britain. Because he said what he did is he found that jokes in the South, especially, weren't laughed at the same way in the North, and vice versa. So he'd tell jokes when he went up north, and he said he'd tell the same ones down south.
They wouldn't.
And he said although some people found them funny, he said a lot did. He didn't get the bigger laugh. So what he did is he changed it. He's genius, really. Although he's not a really renowned comedian, he changed his act depending where he went. Yeah. And he worked, like I said, the comedy map, which I thought is quite intelligent. He also got it for city. So he said, like, if I tell a joke in Liverpool, one would go down well and another wouldn't do in someone like London or someone like Manchester. So he altered his comedy routine for the cities as well.
But it's also about learning different routines for
True.
that specific tour, because that would be quite difficult to genius to learn different material, because I know that the whole set, or the whole, however on they're long for, an hour or whatever it is, the whole, not the whole set is going to be different, but bits and pieces is what's going to be different. Because when you try to do comedy, you try to appear comedic for everyone, because that's you're trying to encompass everyone. But then when you're doing for specific areas, whether it's whatever it is, then yeah, you would have to change it for certain areas, but then you'd have to learn those things to know.
Well, this is it. I mean, when I've gone to comedy shows in the past as well, I've always found the thing, because a friend of mine always asked me to go to comedy shows. I like Comedy Store. There's one in Leicester Square. There's pretty much all over.
Yeah.
But I never go. And I think the reason being, in the past I used to go, and there'd be 5 acts. Normally there's 5. Sometimes there's slightly more. Sometimes there's slightly less. But let's say most of them are 5 acts. But I've always noticed, out of the 5 acts, one will be good.
Yeah.
One will be average, and the other 3 will be crap. And I'm afraid that all rubbish. So that's the thing. So they won't be good. And I've noticed, I don't know why that is, but the vast majority I've always noticed are never ever that brilliant. And I don't know if that's for those of you that do go to comedy shows regularly, do you agree? Chuck it in the chat if you think so, or if it's different. But I have noticed that. I have noticed that in comedy stores, there's always a good one. It's very rare I've been to one where there's more than 1 or 2 people that are good.
Yeah, I when I've gone to, I've only been to about 2 comedy shows, I think. And there's only, in those 2, there's only ever been 1. Different people, because different lineup. And there was only ever 1. And actually, Stephen K. Amos turned up to one, and he was very funny. There was a heckler in the audience, and of course, they have to deal with all these hecklers. And I just think to myself, all these hecklers are pointless. But anyway.
Yeah, but they used to do it. But if you get a chance, watch on YouTube. There's some brilliant riposts for hecklers. There's whole sections on them as well. And they're all different ones. Steve Martin used to have, when he was a stand-up comic, well, this is back in the 70s, he had a whole list of things he used to say for hecklers. He was very good at it. And Mark Thomas as well, he's a British comedian. He had a load of really good retorts for hecklers.
I just think, yeah, you're right. And I went to one, and it was all political, and I just thought it was not funny whatsoever. He didn't get very many. He got a couple in the front, but wasn't that good. Yeah, I think, and it also depends on what yours. It also depends on what your type of sense of humor is.
True. I was watching. So go back to this dealing with hecklers. One of my favorite ones. I was watching it on YouTube, dealing with hecklers. And one guy was on the thing, and he was saying, the comic was saying, so I remember the first time I had sex, and someone from the audience shouted, "Yeah, yesterday!" Because everyone starts laughing. And you see he's trying to think of something, had to come back to it. I thought, what's he going to say? And he turned to her and went, "I'm glad you remembered." And I thought that, I don't know why, I thought that was brilliant, because he got a really big uproar. Some just really gun, though, for the audience.
Yeah.
Some really gun. I forget the name of the comic, but there was one woman who kept heckling him, and he just wouldn't let it go. He just honed in on her, and he then based the rest of his comedy routine about her. And he was just jabbing and jabbing and jabbing. And she was trying to come back to him, because he would just... You've got to remember, if you are going to take a comic on, they're so used to doing that, taking on hecklers. So you've got to be prepared to take the banter as well.
I had never heard of hecklers until I went to the comedy show.
Really?
Yeah, never knew that people just answered back or heckled. Never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
It was only until I went to my first comedy show that I was like, oh, that was a bit rude or whatever. And then a couple of comedians, and I think it was Evelyn that said to me, "Oh yeah, all this heckling and all this," and then I just thought, "Oh, it must be the norm then," but never had heard of them.
No, it's quite normal in clubs as well. But they're really... A friend of mine, actually, a guy I used to work with many years ago. He was a stand-up comic, And he was quite clever with it. So he would do some actually research the hecklers, and he was saying that he found out that there's this group of guys that used to go to the comic. They warned him they heckle every act,
Right.
but he found out they were cab drivers.
Ah.
And so what he did, I was very clever what he did. So he goes, he had it ready. So when they heckled him, he goes, what do you guys do? Because they said, we're cabbies. They go, what you do in south of the river at this time? And I thought that was quite clever. So he'd already researched his heckle and he'd done it. But yeah, like I said, Steve Martin used to have his favourite one was, so most hecklers just make a noise. They go, oh, you can't understand what they're saying. And he'd always say, oh, I'm being heckled by Planet of the Apes. You know, the obviously because of the noise.
Yeah.
So that was his. And there was another one. What was Mark Thomas's one? Yeah, Mark Thomas would single them out and give them a chance and say, do you really want to take me on? Because I've been doing this for 20 years. I'll mop the floor with you. And they always go quiet. So that each one had their like different way of heckling.
Yeah.
So guys, have you ever been to a comedy store? Do you enjoy it? Is it something you would go to? And have you ever seen hecklers as well? Or are you the heckler? Do you heckle at a comedy store?
Or are you the type of person, if you get into a lift, you're comfortable with the silence? Like and I notice this, people who aren't comfortable with their own company, that's the ones who feel awkward and need to talk.
No,
like with me, I've lived on my own, I've been on my own, it's fine. So I don't feel the need to fill the space with a lot of, I suppose, do you know what it is? Sometimes I don't say anything unless it's worth saying.
Holistic therapist and coach. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Aoife, how are you? Yeah.
Aoife? Oh, Aoife, you changed your profile again. How are you?
Is it Aoife? I'm assuming it's Aoife.
Well, you're assuming. I don't know. If you're not Aoife,
apologies. I'm assuming it's Aoife, but yeah, apologies.
Charlie, hello.
Hey, Charlie, how are you?
You okay? How many followers have you got, Charlie? Let us know. Because it's going up, actually. Charlie's is doing really, really well. So I just wanted to see how you are.
So how do you feel about... So how does everyone feel about small talk? Like with me, I'm not about it. So I'm not here for it. At Mark and Kelly, I got some bad news. Kel, it's Aoife, yeah.
Yeah, it is Aoife. Oh, what's the matter, Aoife? What happened?
Oh, you got 683 followers. Wow.
Charlie, well done. Charlie.
Wow.
Any new videos, Charlie? I've not checked your channel out, actually. I idolise you, sister.
Oh, thank you.
What's been happening, Aoife?
So we're just talking about...
small talk, we were.
Yeah, small talk. Are you comfortable with small talk? Do you feel like if you get into a lift and there's someone that you kind of know, you don't know them that well, but you kind of know, you've seen them around and you go, oh, hi, how are you? Look at the weather outside. Aren't we having Weather is the most common thing that people make small talk over. Now, I'm not about the small talk. I'm perfectly fine getting into a lift. If I've seen you around, that's fair enough. But I'm quite comfortable with being like, I don't need to fill the space.
Charlie said he went to Hessel outside Hull. You've been there before, haven't you, Charlie? I do remember you've done videos before of Hessel. How was it? Did you go to the Carvery? Or did you go to... I know sometimes you like to go to McDonald's there as well. My blood count and iron count is on the floor.
Oh, dear.
Are you in hospital at the moment? Or are you having medication to help you?
I hope you're going to get the right medication to help you and stuff.
Well, hopefully we can cheer you up a little bit because we're talking about small talk.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I slightly disagree with Kelly on is with the small talk. It's not that people are uncomfortable in their silence. I think sometimes people are worried it sounds rude that you're not talking to them. I think that's the other.
Yeah, but if that was the case, the other person would make small talk.
Not necessarily, because then sometimes you might think, oh, and some people do panic. I do get what you're saying. I think they sometimes worry that the other person will think they're being rude.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, so if you're in a lift and you're the one that's worried about it, but the other person's silent, if it was me, I would take my cue from the other person. And if the other person wanted to talk, then I'd just think, oh, for goodness sake. All right, I'll then join in the conversation. But I always take my cue from somebody else because I'm fine with silence in a lift, or I don't. But where it's work concerned, so if there's a guest that is coming or a client or whatever, it's your job, or it should not your job, sorry, my job to make that person feel welcome. It's my job to sort of say, hi, how are you? You know what I mean? You know, I haven't seen you for a while. But if it's just, I am very much like that if it's friends and stuff like that. Hi, how are you? What you been up to? Blah, blah, blah. But if you're in a lift with someone who they haven't even really spoken to you up to this point anyway, right? They haven't even given you the time of day, and now we're in a lift together. Now you want to give me the time of day and talk about the weather.
Oh, Aoife, I'm sorry to hear about. So she said, doctor is worried that the HDB collapse means a threat to my life. Oh wow!
No.
Organising appointments like there is no tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So potentially hospital. You're not in hospital now, but potentially hospital. Have you got anybody nearby? Because I know you've got your brothers. Can they just be on hand just in case? Hopefully they can, because I wouldn't want to see anything happen to you. So yeah, please have someone on hand just in case. But make sure you go to all your appointments, because it's really important to make sure that they look after you as well.
And look after yourself as well.
Yes, make sure you do. And also as well, do get them to look at your diet, because you want to make sure, if your blood levels are that low and your iron levels are that low, you want to make sure you're having on the right diet.
Yeah, and getting all the right nutrients or taking the right vitamins and things like that.
Talking of small talk though, Aoife said, small talk, I can do like, how are you doing? Nice day, and that kind of stuff. So Aoife and Charlie and anybody else who's on, what would you do? So if somebody, like Kelly's example, if you were in a lift and someone said hi and you said hi, and they started to strike up a conversation with you. Now bear in mind, you don't know this person. Let's say it's an average person. Let's say it's a non-threatening person. So we'll say, I don't know, like an elderly lady or someone like that. So someone you deem non-threatening, and they start taking up a thing. Would you engage in the conversation, or would you try and diffuse it? How are you? Or would you yourself be the sort of person that would start the conversation? So we're just wondering how you are on that spectrum of starting a conversation, ending a conversation, don't want to be part of the conversation, or do you give off the vibes of don't talk to me, I'm really, really, really not interested?
For me, even when you were saying it, in my mind, I was just like, imagine being in a lift going, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I feel like when this is my point of view. So when you are somewhere and you've sort of briefly met someone, or you've seen someone, they've never given you the time of day before, but all of a sudden they're stuck in a lift with you and they feel awkward. But hang on a second, you never gave me the time of day before. So now why are you awkward? Why do you feel awkward? Just be quiet. That's how in my mind, that's how I take it. And then now they've opened up their mouth, and now I have to join in a fake polite. This is what I don't like. It's a fake politeness.
She doesn't like the fake politeness.
I don't like the fakeness.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think as well. Some people don't like it, but mind you, some people might be lonely. Some people might just want the company. I remember I've been in situations where I've been at college and I've not known the person at all.
Right.
Because when I was back at college, you did so many different courses for your main degree, that what would happen is you'd end up meeting people you've never met before. And I'd noticed that with certain people, especially if they lived on their own, they would make an absolute point of coming over and chatting to people, and you'd like, okay, you're very familiar, and you would chat. Just keep it light and casual. Okay.
See, because my problem is this, right? So you bump into someone in the lift, you've seen them around before, they've not given you the time of day, right? They've not bothered to come to chat to you or whatever. So now you're with them in a lift and they want to start a conversation, and I'm just like, okay, I'll fake play this. Then when you see this person around again, it's like they don't know you until they get into a lift again with you. That's what I don't know. But if you fake talk to someone in a lift, right, whether they start the conversation or you start the conversation, but when you bump into them again, you have another conversation, like proper. That's how you get to know people, and I don't mind that. That type of thing I like. I don't mind it. But don't talk to me when you have no intention of talking to me until we're stuck in a lift again. That's my point.
Yeah, so Aoife says, if there's silence, I stay silent.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, actually. Oh, by the way, she said you mean the world, and I need to marry you because you'll mean the world.
Oh.
Yes, but yes, she. You're right, but that's the thing. I'm the same as well. So I mean, like, we keep using lift as a scenario.
Yeah.
There's many different scenarios like
There are
that.
many, but I think that's the one that comes to mind because you're enclosed in a small space.
Yeah.
So that's what I take that to mean. But even if it's like Mickey Flanagan says, like I'm the type of person I don't really like small talk. I'm not one for getting to know the neighbours, but you will get to you're completely different.
I like to get to know them.
And plus you do have conversations with them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I can't open my door quick enough to get in the house without having to stop for a conversation. We were outside the other day because there were, like loads of people were parking on our road and all of this. Anyway, as I was going back in the house. Now Mark was in the middle of talking to the neighbour. And then Mark said, "Oh, aren't you going to say hello?" Because I had just been sort of like having a bit of a conversation with somebody who was parking on the road who shouldn't have been parking on the road. Now, I didn't approach them because, to be quite honest, as long as you're not blocking my drive, I don't have a problem. They're trying to engage me in a conversation, which really, they were asking me about someone else's drive. I can't speak on behalf of someone else's drive. So anyway, so I finished having a conversation with them. I said, "You're going to have to start knocking on doors and asking people whatever." And then, so Mark was in the middle of talking, obviously with the neighbour. They were complaining about people parking on the road and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, and then I went in, like, shaking my head from the conversation I'd had with the guy in the car. And then Mark said to me, "Oh, aren't you going to say hello?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry." Because then I'm wrapped up in my own thoughts. I didn't even think. I did say hello to the neighbour, but it didn't occur to me to now stand and have a conversation with the neighbour. And I like that neighbour. I don't have, he's quite a nice person. But it didn't occur to me, like when I see people, I'm friendly, I'm like, "Oh, hi, you all right?" And then I keep it moving because I'm not about to stand and have a conversation with you. And I've been like that at all my addresses. Because it's one of those things where I feel you can have a good conversation with a neighbour until something happens. And then you're not friends with that person anymore, but yet you're living on the same road, across the road, or next door, or whatever, and you have to pass that person all the time. There's already another neighbor that lives a couple of doors down, and I'm just thinking, oh no, now I have to see that person every day, and I'll just think, oh.
Well, I don't mind that, but Kelly did avoid. But when you actually see them, you can't then avoid them. You've got when they see you, you've got to engage.
I say hello. No, I don't not say hello. I say hello. I say hello and goodbye.
I was sat there talking to him, and then Kelly walks past. I go, "Just say hello."
I had forgotten because I was wrapped up chatting to the man, telling the man, "No, you're going to have to start knocking on people's doors and things like that."
No, exactly. I mean, I get what you said. So if you see him, if you can avoid, you can do that. You can. I mean, I've got to be honest.
No, I'll say hello, and then if I'm in the mood, and that's only if I'm in the mood, I'll say, "Hi, how are you? What have you been up to?" But that's only if I'm in the mood, because I'm not one for. I like to keep it friendly, and that is it. I'm not one for going in deep, and then one day somebody gets into an argument, because I've known this with other neighbours. Luckily for me, I've never, touch wood, right, never had an argument with a neighbour and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where the more friendlier you get with someone, there's always a potential. Even with your own friends, do you know what I mean? There's always a potential, even with your own friends, to get into an argument.
But there's always a potential for that anyway.
But everywhere. But when you have an argument or whatever with your friend, if you decide you don't want to be friends with them anymore, you don't have to see them. They're living somewhere else. And you can just fade them out. Unless you or your neighbour is moving, you cannot fade out anyone because they're living on the same road. So
Eva said, "You're an amazing couple together, and I have turned into some of the tips videos, but kept dozing off due to low blood and sugar levels." No, I know. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What we do, actually, in fact, one thing we have noticed, which is really nice, is the number of people that actually watch our lives after.
Yeah.
So they tend to catch it at a later time. So I know there's people that watch it around the world. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
we
do.
Really do. But at different times you want to catch it up as a podcast. So we try and do it as a bit of that. So we do our little food reviews, as you know, and we like to have it live. So if you can interact at the same time, but if you do want to watch it later, as a podcast, which
Yeah.
we tend to have as we do like doing.
Yeah, some people sort of tend to have it on in the background while they're working or whatever, or doing housework.
Oh, this is interesting. She goes, so Eva said, I miss your reviews of gadgets like you did with the awesome Tassimo. I gave the useless plain Dolce Gusto away. There was no slider on it, so I need to purchase. Well, actual fact, funny enough, we haven't done, actual fact, thank you, Eva, as well. That's really helpful. We haven't done a product review for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, I suppose we haven't bought, well, don't get me wrong, we have bought stuff. Like at the moment, I'm using a ring light. And I haven't turned it on because before, when I did turn it on, it was playing up a little bit. So I didn't. I'm going to try it now.
Actually, I'm just thinking of Aoife's idea. You should do a review on these.
I will do.
Do you know what? If you bake two cakes, I say two cakes for a tier, you could bake one with, one without to give them an idea of the difference.
Well, I may do one without because there may be another cake, but the cakes that I'm thinking of at the moment will need the strips. But there may be a cake that I do, a main cake maybe that might not. So
well, I'm just thinking if you're just baking for us.
Oh yes.
And then you can just demo it that way.
Yeah.
And then you can just say, because it doesn't matter. So you can do the two tiers, do them side by side, and then you can stack them as you normally would. And you can then see the difference between the two.
Yeah.
That might be useful. Yeah, with your new Dolce Gusto machine, you might do. I've done several reviews. I think the problem is Kelly and I have got so many gadgets.
Yeah.
We're trying to stop buying new ones.
Yeah.
And I think obviously it can get quite expensive. Every time we buy one, we redo them. The food reviews were amazing. Oh, thank you. I hope you. We love doing food reviews.
Yeah.
One, we like to eat, especially me. But also as well, we like to give you guys an idea of what's new and out there. So hopefully, Aoife, and anybody else who's in London that fancies going to these places, we one day will meet you and we can take you there for one of our food reviews.
Yeah, we try to. Sometimes I like to do a chain. And so that they're in different places, and then hopefully different people around the UK can try those places. How do we review?
Oh, so Charlie asked, how do we do the reviews for pubs and traveling everywhere? Well, that's actually a good one. Do you know what, Charlie? We've done a couple of carvery pubs.
Yeah.
So we did do, you might remember we did a video. Actually, in fact, we put our carvery video at the same time you did yours. Very similar to you and your brother did a McDonald's video. And that gave us a good idea, actually, because we want to do McDonald's again. We haven't done the McDonald's review for quite a while. But the one review we do want to do, I don't know if this interests you, Charlie, but we do want to do a Greg's review. We did one a long time ago, but since then, we did it in lockdown, but Greg's has got some new stuff in.
Yeah.
We did do one, but it wasn't very good, so we want to redo it. We never put the footage up because it wasn't good enough.
I think because it was tight, because we were doing it in a tight time frame.
Yeah, we had something else we had to do, so we had to quickly rush it, and then when we watched it, it came across as rushed.
Yeah.
The other thing is as well, one thing we found, we got so much clutter in our house. We tend to do, you might see that when we do the food reviews, we did a lot of them in the summer in the garden because we could get the table out and it was easier. We do need to clear space here so we can do a proper food review.
Yeah.
Kelly had a really good idea that she would set the gimbal up so you could have a picture in picture so you could see what we were eating while we were eating it. So we had a picture in picture, which we're going to try and do again and set up that way so you can actually see what we're eating while we're eating it. Aoife said, you are and will always be the sister figure I never had. I love you as a sister.
Bless you.
That's
Thank you.
Sweet
That's so kind. Thank you.
Charlie said, and I do a hotel review. Premier Inn. Yes, you do.
Wow.
We have seen your Premier Inn reviews. You've done quite a few, actually.
Yeah.
Ones as well. And you've done quite a few carvery pubs as well. And I do remember, because when you went to Leeds, you did a food review. Because you went to, was it Leeds Rhinos you went to? And you went to the Manchester City football stadium. I remember you did that as well. So you've got some good reviews ones in there. So what I like about yours as well, Charlie, yours ones, you can watch loads of yours because you like to do shorts. So yours are quite good.
Yeah.
Aoife said, I hope to be up to and well enough to fly to meet you for my 45th birthday, flying from Ireland West Airport. Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah.
So hopefully hopefully, fingers crossed, if you are feeling up for it, you can come over to the UK. Then we'll have to arrange
like where we'll meet up and stuff like that. Yeah.
But yeah, Kelly and I absolutely love doing collabs. I know we haven't done many. Our main one was with Samuel.
Yeah.
But it was such great fun.
But Richard was saying earlier that we'll try to do one nearer to Christmas, so maybe December.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll speak to him anyway, and then yeah, we can try.
So Eva said, I love the sausage rolls in Greg's. Well, funny you should say that. Actually, we bought pretty much everything they had. The great thing about Greg's is it's quite cheap.
Yeah.
I think we worked out for something like £28, roughly about that. We could buy every baked good
pretty much
on the menu.
Yeah.
So it was really good for review purposes. It didn't cost me much to review absolutely everything. So that's what we could do. The trouble is in most other things, like for example, donut time, every donut's a £5.
Yeah.
So £26 only gets you 6 donuts. So
although 6 is quite a lot.
6 is quite a lot. So it's difficult to do that as well. So with the great thing with Greg's, you can review the lot. So Charlie, I don't know if you were going to say something. I don't know if you like Greg's, but we do want to do another Greg's one. But we've got many more reviews. We've got so much stuff to upload still from Brussels.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, that we've got to do as well. So we are starting to trickle it on, but we will try and speed things up. Unfortunately, I've been working. I thought after I finished my college course, I'd be free as a bird, but I'm helping one of your family members with a
little project. Yeah.
So I will get that. Hopefully that will get done soon.
I'm going to test this light.
I'm going to test the light. There you are.
Test this light.
So
it wasn't working earlier.
No, we bought this new lamp, so hopefully you guys can see us a lot better. It's coming right in our face here.
Yeah.
But
it's better than the other light.
Well, it's better than us just having the main light.
But you know the square one that I had. It's better than the square one. I feel.
True. That's true.
It's not as blinding as the square one, and I can turn it to different, so I can make it darker.
So Aoife said, I must check out the Premier Inn reviews. I love those hotels. Well, do you know what? The other thing we wanted to do, so we do want to change some of the review ones we've done, because we have done Belgium, Brussels, with the hotel review. So that will come up. We will show you the breakfast. We haven't uploaded that one yet, but we will do the breakfast in there.
I have done it as shorts.
Oh,
so it is on shorts.
Oh, okay. On the short ones. I thought we were going to do it on the long one, but it might take a bit longer to do.
I will do it on a long one, but just to let you know, there's a lot of the Brussels videos at the moment are on the shorts. So still on YouTube, but they're just done as a short. And also a review of the hotel is also done on TikTok. So if you want to catch up on TikTok, we're on TikTok and you can catch up with any of like little shorts reviews, stuff like that on there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we like to do the shorts on there as well. So for those of you who don't like the long video, you can just check out our shorts that way.
Yeah.
And look at those ones as well. We do want, there's plenty more food for us to try, plenty more places for us to go. And like I said, we will start getting more stuff in to try. Anything new that you'd like us to try, or not, it doesn't even have to be new. If there's something you fancy that you think, yeah, guys, please review that. I've been wanting to do that. Please let us know. And Charlie has just told us that 49 reviews for his McDonald's in Gainsborough.
Oh, wow.
There you go. So again, love those food reviews. Keep doing them, Charlie. Keep doing what you're doing.
49 views. He's had 49 views.
Yeah, that's really good. That's what I said, 49 views. So yeah, keep doing them though, Charlie. Keep them uploaded, because you don't want to stop them. We love what you're doing. Keep doing it. So it's always good to have those bits. The other thing we were thinking about as well, we're looking at some new restaurants we want to try, which we'll keep it as a surprise. We kept Blacklock as a surprise.
Yeah, we did.
Sunday roast.
Sorry, I'm just checking about this shopping, because this shopping hasn't arrived and it's like 10 to 8.
No, so... I know. So we were waiting for that. So we will, unfortunately, we will have to probably go at around 8 o'clock, just because the shopping's coming.
Yeah.
My recent, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to miss the live because I was so long working. But I'm glad I got to see you guys, so I was able to do it for a bit longer. Aoife said, I hate Michelle, the practice nurse. I despise her. She wouldn't know how to be smart if she tried.
Oh, dear.
Well, try not remember, a nurse is giving you your care, so just be careful. you're best off just keeping quiet.
Yeah.
But one thing they always say as well: never be rude to like the staff or your waiter, because you never know what they're going to do to your food.
Exactly.
Oh,
Hey,
Nahar, how are you?
How are you? What are you up to?
Yeah,
what are you going to be doing this weekend?
What you got planned? Are you going anywhere? That's a lot of questions we've just asked.
I know.
But it's nice to see you. We just like to see you. So
10 seconds. Yeah, we haven't got anything planned as yet.
No, but we've got there's a couple of places we want to review. So we think you guys would like it. Well, I know I would like it, so we do want to try these out.
It'll either be that or maybe a takeaway review. We haven't quite decided yet, so we'll see.
But you're guessing the theme is going to be food. Charlie said, film the Humber Bridge is a new place. All right, okay, you're going to film the Humber Bridge. Do that. Eva said she made comments about why my nose is still not surgically corrected, and if I had chosen it to have it surgically corrected. Oh, look, I've got a comeback for that, but I better not say it on the live. Nahar said, oh God, you know that boy that I used to sit next to in maths?
The annoying one.
Yeah,
yes.
What happened? Well, today he kept throwing in whiteboards around the classroom and at the teacher and pens. Oh, jeez.
He was throwing whiteboards. What? The big square whiteboard that he was throwing that around.
Oh God. Do you know what?
That's crazy.
Nah, you must be so glad you're not sitting next to that guy anymore. I really thought he liked you, because I reckon he was doing it to try and get your attention.
I have a feeling he still does.
I think he probably does. I think he does this. Boys, when they're really, really young, and I can tell because I'm a former boy, now a man. I was wondering what I was going to go with. So as a boy, you don't know how to impress girls. So you think in your head, if I act up,
if I act a fool,
they'll think I'm funny and therefore they'll like me. They don't realise that it actually annoys girls, so they actually act that way. So I think he was doing it because of that, because he liked you. Charlie said 2 hours ago went to McDonald's in Willoughby. Oh, you've gone again. Did you film it? Is it on the thing? Nahar said in geography he sent a note from the other side of the room from him to me. See, I knew he liked you, and I didn't want to open it. And the popular girls opened it for me and said his snap on it. Oh, there you are. And he said, nah, he's Leng.
Nahar is Leng.
Nahar is Leng. He likes you.
Yeah.
He likes you.
Leng is,
he likes you. The fact is, if you think about it, he's gone out of his way. If he didn't like you or wasn't interested, you wouldn't even come on his radar. He wouldn't even entertain.
Listen, the guy said she's Leng, so yes, he's definitely he's the same as Peng, which is you're nice.
Mark, please remind me to check your subscription to your channel, as it says you undo some channel subs. No, we never undo subs.
Yeah.
But no, if you do, please do subscribe. We'll make sure that you're not undone.
We never undo subs. Yeah.
No. And he said, oh, Nahar rejected me like all of a sudden. But I don't like my class because it has the popular kids in it.
Right. Yeah.
And the teacher don't even teach properly. He's trying to get your attention. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to sound cool in front of you, and he's trying to get your attention. So he thinks in his head that you find this funny. Charlie said one day ago went to McDonald's in Gainsborough. Oh, you've been to McDonald's quite a bit, Charlie. And then he kept sending notes to other girls, like the quiet ones like me. I think he could be trying to hedge his bets, actually. But I think he does like.
Yeah, but what was he saying in the notes to the other quiet girls?
Probably the same thing.
And the thing is, I've got to admit, sometimes being in the class with the popular people, it's just like. Oh.
I'll tell you what he's doing, Nahar. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to figure out who likes him. So the girls that he's sending the notes to are the ones.
Oh, he's sending his Snapchat username to the other. Right,
he's trying to figure out who likes him. So the girls he's sending to are the ones he's interested in. He won't give a Snapchat thing to somebody he's not interested.
Charlie said he hasn't seen us comment on. Do you know what? We've been a little bit busy. I don't think the only person's video that I've actually commented on is Richard's. I haven't commented on
Well, do you
anyone's
know
for a
what,
little
Charlie?
while.
I'm sorry about that because
Yeah.
we haven't had much time looking stuff, but I will check out more
Yeah.
of your videos and we'll have a look. I will have a look at
I've
those.
neglected a little bit. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we'll apologise for that. We will have a look. Now I said he has a girlfriend. That means nothing, Naha. That means nothing. He's probably cheating on her, to be honest. Do you know what? I'll tell you what I think he's doing. I think he's checking his options.
Yeah.
So he thinks, I've got my girlfriend here. Let me see who else likes me. So if you were to turn around and say you're interested, he will probably brush her off to one side and then go for you.
I would just ignore the notes and just go about my business, because the thing that you don't want, and sometimes girls, they are misplaced in the sense of if a guy not likes another girl, then the girl goes to dislike the other girl. Why? It's not her liking on your man, it's your man liking on the girl.
Where you've got to be careful, Naha, is where if you were to go out with someone like that, what he's doing now to his girlfriend, he will do to you. He will start giving behind your back notes to these other girls.
Red flags now.
Yeah, exactly.
Red flags.
Mark and Kelly, you should cook a dinner and dessert together as a demo. That's a really good. Do you know what? We've never done that.
No, we haven't. Yeah, it's sometimes difficult in our kitchen, but yeah, we should do something. Because like when we were decorating the cupcakes and I was baking them, and I got you to bake a set of cupcakes, that would that is something that we might actually do
look
together.
At that.
We'll
That's
look
a
at
really good idea, because we've always just do one purely to save time, because it takes so long to cook one thing.
Yeah.
But thank you, good idea.
Yeah.
Nahar said he threw a whiteboard pen at the teachers, and the teacher caught it, and some boy yelled out, "Ooh, that gotta hurt, sir." Oh God, do you like this guy? Don't let me put you off if you do like him, but do you like this boy? YouTube does the subbing. Says,
really? That's very interesting.
Do you know what? My friend said that about Twitter. My friend said that he noticed he had a lot of people unfollow him, and they had said to him, "I'm sorry, Twitter." They refollowed him and said, "Twitter unfollow me. I didn't mean to unfollow."
Right.
I have heard
that. I did notice something strange with our subscribers, but that's only been in the last 2 years. So, or maybe like from since last year, I've noticed that people have been unsubscribing, and then but I don't know if it's the same people that are resubscribing, if that makes sense. But I have noticed that a few times on our subs. So, and it's definitely not us. And why would we unsubscribe? Do you know what I mean? That would be great, unless somebody was like really rude or offensive or something like that. I would never unsubscribe someone.
No, he's gross. But he gets the whole class's attention all the time.
Yeah,
he's an attention seeker.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
He wants attention.
That's the shopping.
Right, Thunder. Hello. Right, you carry on.
Hey, Thunder. How are you? Okay. Random, but I'm craving mac and cheese from Toby Carvery. Do you know what? Mark loves the mac and cheese at Toby Carvery, and I've got to say, I am missing Toby Carvery. It's been a while since we've been. I think the last time we went to Toby Carvery was in May. That was the last time. So it has been a while. I think I will try maybe to go. In fact, I may even try to go one evening. And go up there and have a good old carvery, because we haven't been for ages. We're good, Thunder. Yeah, we are good. How are you? What have you been up to? What are you going to be up to this weekend? Maths is usually dead quiet, but today, because it was the last lesson on a Friday, everyone was crazy. Do you know what? I remember Fridays, and you would go crazy. Every lesson we have to do an exit ticket with questions on, and me and my friend got them all wrong. Oh dear. Random, but I'm craving for mac and cheese. Read that one. Richard's Adventures, my channel list. Richard's not on at the moment, actually. He's gone. I don't actually know what he's doing. He's probably gone off to have dinner, but he logged off earlier. And teacher did the right answers on the board, and he kept looking at me and my friend because we got them all wrong. Oh no. And I kept laughing and he kept looking. He looked so mad. But do you imagine girls just giggling in the corner? Do you know what I mean? That's enough to drive teachers crazy. Um, Dan, you been to Dubai or Canada? I have been to Canada, but I haven't been to Dubai. Although we did do a stop off in Dubai one time. We were on our way somewhere. I can't remember where we were, and we did stop off in Dubai, but didn't get out and see the airport or anything. Um, the first week of November, I will get the Christmas tree. Oh, right, and decorations up. Do you know what? Mark likes to do the decorating early as well because it creates a real nice atmosphere in the house. And I think that it probably, for Mark anyway, helps him get through that winter because winter can be so long. So I know that he likes to. But last year, we didn't manage it until December. But I think this year we'll probably try and get it maybe October, November time, like do it properly early. But maybe yeah, I think we'll do it after Halloween. So maybe the beginning of November. I think that's probably a good time. I had been unsubbed and had to subscribe to your channel. Yeah, I don't understand why. Are there freezer stuff?
Yeah, there is freezer stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
have you put it away?
No.
Mark has come to sit down. He's like, no, I haven't put it in the freezer yet.
No, I just want to see. I want to catch up on some of the bits as well. I just want to have thunder. There's not many plans. What about you two? We haven't got many plans. This stuff. We do want to do some more vids actually because we are behind on our vids.
Yeah, and Thunder was saying,
how's the date? Are you going back for more? Back to Portsmouth?
She's craving mac and cheese from Toby Carvery.
Mac and cheese and Toby Carvery is one of the best ones I've had. I thought when I tried it, I thought it's Toby, but it was really good. Is this guy again?
Yeah.
Oh God! The trouble is, if you give him the attention, that's what he's after.
No. This is the teacher.
Oh, this is the teacher.
Yeah, this is the teacher because they had to do exit tickets, and he put the answers on the board. And she and her friend got all the questions wrong, and of course he kept looking.
All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye just because I've got to put some stuff in the freezer. Best hotel in Las Vegas, says Dan. Dan, that's a very different. Now we've not been to all of them, but from the one, my favourite one, and it's not the best. It isn't the best, but it's the one that makes me happy. Yeah. Is Excalibur. That's the one that makes me happy. But the best one we stayed at, I would say, probably is
Park MGM. There's one called MGM. It's not that one. It's actually Park MGM, which was it had been open the first year, I think, when we got there, which was in 2019. Did we go 2019? I think. But a lot of people, I don't know how the rooms are, but a lot of people say Bellagio is really nice.
Charlie thinks he's getting subs taken away. He thought he had 700.
Right.
Oh, Charlie, oh no. Kelly, sis figure, seriously thinking about getting a Christmas tree and decorations up on the 1st of November. I was saying the same. I want to do the same this year. Last year, my plan was to do it mid to late November, and I got subtracted doing other things. So,
but look, we're talking about unsubbing quickly. At the moment, it says there are 2 people on the chat, and we're at least chatting to 3 or 4 of you. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So at the moment, I believe Dan, Thunder, Aoife, Charlie, and Neha. That's 5 people, and it's gone down to 1. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube at the moment.
Sort it out because that's the thing as well. But yeah, we've had that as well. When people unsubscribe, I mean, it probably is genuinely unsubscribing, but we sometimes think, well, they never said why they're going to unsubscribe, but we do wonder that. So Charlie, if you have had 700, that probably is your sub figure. So if YouTube are taking them away, I hope not.
I think that's what YouTube is doing with us. I've got to be honest. And I don't think they are putting up as many views as we actually get. I think they are not properly saying how many views we actually get.
Nahas said we were laughing at the fact how easy the questions were and we got them wrong. By the way, he kept looking at us and he probably thought we were copying each other because we had the same answers. Were you copying each other with the same answers?
Or were you just discussing the answers and thought, do you know what, I'm going to write the same as you?
We won't say a word. Naha, we will not say a word, but I'm glad you had fun.
You're going to go and do the...
I'm going to go finish off the shopping, guys. I'm going to say goodbye. Kelly will carry on for a bit and then say goodbye later. But thank you so much that everybody enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. I apologise that I was so late. Work commitments and all I had to. And next Tuesday I will be a little bit late because I have to go into the office, but I will be in the live.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Have a fantastic weekend. What's the stuff behind those? Kelly will tell you. You look after yourself. Have a great weekend. You carry on.
Okay, so these are my Baileys and Richard's Adventures. Yeah, they're alcohol. Was asking me earlier on. So I've got Red Velvet Cupcake. I've got Eat a Mess. I've got Strawberries and Cream. I've got Pina Colada. And I have birthday cake, and I've got almond, and I've got pumpkin spice. I've got apple pie. I've got orange truffle and salted caramel. So those are the ones. There should be another one in the bag. I don't know if Mark might bring it in, but there is another one that I've ordered. So we shall see what the mystery one. It's a new flavor, and I saw it and I thought, yep, I have to have it. I got, yeah, start an early Christmas trend. Yeah, Bailey's is yummy. I've got to say, Bailey's is yummy. Only joking, never tried it. Oh my God, Bailey's is yummy, I promise you. Well,
I'm afraid that was in your product, not available.
Oh, look at that. I knew it.
They did say that. I won't say it. You can tell them what it is.
Oh, it says Bailey's not available. So I didn't get the new flavor. I bet it's sold out everywhere.
Well, I was just saying, I was looking at it here and I thought I don't see any bottles.
Yeah. Oh, Thunder says you two are relationship goals. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. But don't let us fool you. Sometimes we do argue. It's not copacetic like this all the time. Do you know what I mean? Couples argue. You get me? I get my bottom braces in next week and color. Do they color bottom braces now? What color are you gonna get? Oh, do you know what? I've got to say that sounds weird to me because I think my nephew, I think my nephew's got braces in at the moment. His are clear. And when I had braces, again, they were clear. I say not the clear ones, but the actual train track ones. But the things in between, what the things that they actually stick on your teeth were clear, but the metal that is in between. So obviously that's why they look like train tracks. Yeah, so I had train track braces closed because I had a gap right there. It's closed now. And my nephew's got a gap in the same place. Both my nephews have got gaps in the same place, but also their teeth is just a bit more spread out than mine were, because I only ever had the gap in the middle. I didn't have spread out teeth, but yeah, they put the braces on. But wow. I get my bottom braces in, no worries, haha. Even if there are arguments, still one of the best. Oh, bless you, thank you, that's so lovely. Color like all over the braces, top and bottom. But what color are you going to get? That just sounds so crazy because they didn't do that when I was younger. And I'm quite surprised, like my nephew wouldn't have gone for a color one, I guess. Oh, but yeah, I wonder what color. What you can get, red or like blue or green or something. Probably purple. Okay, wow, purple. Do you know what? I think if I was to get braces now, I think, and I was going to do no, do you know what? I'd like to get the see-through ones. I've got to be honest. You know, the retainer ones. I think probably the braces that I would go for, the retainer type braces. Yeah, I think those are the ones I'd go for. Sorry, I have to go now. So I'll see you on Tuesday after my third day. Yes. Please join us. I want to hear all about it. Oh, I hope you have a lovely time on your date. Take care, Thunder, and hopefully see you on Tuesday. You can let us know all about it, where you went, what did you eat. Oh my God, it's so exciting. At least I have a lot of subs. I have 700 to know what's happening on my channel right now. Don't know why my subs go away. Well, do you know what? It's the same with us, because I just thought, oh, maybe people aren't interested. Because the thing is, Mark and I, we aren't niche. So a lot of people are, thank you, we'll let you know the details. Take care. You too. Can't wait to speak to you on Tuesday. So like with Mark and I, we have sort of like subs that disappear and all of that. And so I just think, oh, maybe because we're not niche, because like a lot of people are niche, they'll either do well-being or reviews, like lifestyle, you know, food reviews or whatever. And Mark and I, we do like different things. So because we don't deal with one in life, we're not just, oh yeah, all we're going to do is food. No, we go to travel, we do day trips here, we do holidays. As it was though, we started off making this a holiday channel because we go on holiday. We go on 2 holidays a year, but then we do like 2 or 3 little trips in between. And I thought that would be great for our channel. And at the time, I didn't know much about YouTube. All I wanted to do was like share it with you guys, which is still the goal. And we wanted it to be a positive channel. So we didn't want to be sort of like, you know, oh, you know, this or that's down or that's not positive. And so we wanted to create a positive atmosphere. We wanted to create a positive channel. And then, of course, the pandemic hit and I got sick and all of that type of stuff. And then we started up again and we were doing different reviews, different food reviews, because we were all stuck in. Do you know what I mean? And we still wanted to put content out for you guys, and we still wanted to engage with you guys. So at the beginning, we never used to do lives. And I said to Mark, do you know what? We should start doing lives. And Mark was unsure about it, and we've never done lives before, but as it's only now that we're utilizing the, you know, editing packages more and things like that, that we're getting to know sort of different things about YouTube. And I'm starting to get to know different things about TikTok. But I feel like with TikTok, it's not as engaging as with YouTube. Like with YouTube, I can have more of a conversation than I can on TikTok. But also, you have to have a certain amount of subscribers, of which we don't have on TikTok anyway, in order to be able to do a live, I think. I've never really tried it, to be quite honest. But I like YouTube, and I like engaging with you guys. And you know, Mark and I, we love chatting to you. We love to see, you know, what you're doing, what you're getting up to, you know, how life is for everyone out there. And I think that that was our main goal. It was always to sort of like, I didn't know much about lives before, so we didn't do them. I only found out more about lives during lockdown. So I didn't really know that they were a thing. And now I'm finding out about shorts and stuff like that. So the more I get involved with it, the more sort of like little bits of content I can create, or ones that I have time to create, if that makes sense. But to be able to dedicate a portion of time to be able to speak to everyone is really good. Because when we started, we only did Fridays, but everyone was stuck in on a Friday. And then as time was going on, I said to Mark, maybe we need to think about doing a different day and what day suits people. So then we started sort of doing like, we sort of asked people and said what days were good. And then we came up with Tuesdays. And so that's what it was. And we used to have another person that used to watch us, Minnie, and she hasn't been on for so long. And unfortunately, because of the time difference, so Sparks from Singapore, Gloria, basically, it's early hours of the morning for her, and Sahinaz, it's early hours of the morning for her, and Minnie, it'll be early hour. In fact, maybe it might be afternoon, but it's like during school time for Minnie. So from in Canada. So I think that it's really nice to be able to engage with other people from around the world as well as people in the UK. But sometimes people are doing things on a Friday night. You know, they've got to go out and they've got to do whatever it is that they've got to do, you know, whether that's, you know, going out to eat, going on dates, going clubbing, or whatever it is that people do on a Friday night. Maybe it's family night. You sit down and you watch your TV. I remember I used to sit down and watch Golden Girls with my parents, and I used to love that, like Dynasty or Dallas or Golden Girls or something like that, or some type of game show. And that's what you did on Friday nights. But now with technology, we can engage together, we can chat together, and you know, you get to see us, we don't get to see you, but still it's so good to be able to communicate and sort of chat with you guys. So I've missed some messages. So let me go back up because I think I missed one. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So you're gonna have purple. And okay. So what does Aoife say? What also occurs when I watch your lives is buffering. Yes. Actually, there's not been any buffering from us today or on Tuesday, so that was quite good because normally we sort of stand still and it's just like, oh, we're not moving or this is not happening or something like that, but it seems to be okay. Back to 4, yeah, exactly. But I know that there's more people online, but it just fluctuates with the numbers, so we never really truly know how many people we're talking to be quite honest, until people sort of start typing and chatting to us. Your views are on 6. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't know what's going on with YouTube at the moment, but sometimes I feel that we have more views than what is stated, and sometimes I think that on the live there are more viewers than what we have stated. But some people just like to sit back and just listen to us. They don't really want to engage or whatever, and that's absolutely fine as well. It's a free country. People can do whatever they want. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not forcing anyone to talk to us. If you just like to listen to us, then thank you for joining us anyway and just listening to us, even though, you know, you might be able to do something or you could go off and be doing something better. But I'm glad that you guys do join us for a little bit of a chit chat and that. Oh, Charlie says hi, holistic. YouTube is playing games with your subs and viewer numbers. Yes, they are. Charlie's Adventures. Ah, hey Charlie. Uh, the last 3 minutes are buffering free. Oh well, that's good at least that you get sort of like free buffering. But also, yeah, I mean, um it's strange because when we do our shorts, yeah, we get a few viewers on our shorts, and we don't. Yeah, it's a strange one, really. It is a strange one, so we just have to sort of bear with it. But I hope we get to, you know, still carry on and chat with you guys, and as long as you're interested in watching us, then you know, all the better for us, because we get to engage with you lovely people. But yeah, that's what the ultimate thing was when we first started the channel. I just wanted to do something positive. I wanted to share our trips, our holidays, and it's just unfortunate that COVID happened. And yeah, to me personally, I would just like to be talking to you guys for, you know, a living. That is what I would love to do. Imagine getting paid to chat to you guys and just engaging with you guys, and I just that would just be the best job, to be quite honest. So yeah, so that's goals, to chat to you guys and to produce hopefully good content that you guys enjoy. I hope we're doing good content. I haven't been on top of the videos as I should, but I'm going to try and be better with that. I've got at least 3 to 4 videos to be able to put out. But sometimes I get distracted because there are other things around the house to do, or I need to do something, or somebody inevitably is calling me to say, oh, can I come and do something? Or somebody's asking me to bake cakes or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Just life stuff. But yeah, this week I shall be baking cakes and probably filming some of them, not all of them, but some of them. But Mark is right. I should do a review on these strips. And I think yeah, I think some of these strips should be done thicker to fit around the larger tins. But I did try it around a springboard tin, and it did partly work on a spring tin. But it is better on the non-spring form tins. It is better on that. But if you want your cakes to pop out, then grease and flour the inside. So grease it with the butter all round, flour it all around, and they should pop out quite easily when they're ready to pop out. If you're a baker, not a baker, but if you like to do homemade cakes. Okay. perhaps do daily life vlogs. Wow, like 10 minutes of your day, perhaps some cooking, some baking, some tech reviews and trips. Maybe that might be one. These are just some random suggestions. It's true because there was a time when I did think about doing sort of like a daily sort of type vlog of what I was doing around the house. Like like so basically just after COVID, I got all of these marks on my faces from spots and stuff like that. And there was sort of several different creams I was trying. They've actually faded quite a bit now, but they were like really bad at one point, like all over my face. I was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But they faded quite a bit. I'm quite lucky because they went up to there. It was all really bad scarring. So now I've just got a few left. But hopefully they will disappear at some point. But yeah, it was pretty bad. And so then I was doing sort of like little daily routines of what I was doing with my face and stuff like that. But I just didn't know whether it was interesting enough to upload. And then there was a time when I was doing cooking and stuff like that in the kitchen, but Mark was in here. And he was talking all the time, obviously, because he had conference calls and stuff like that. And he was working in the living room, and I was trying to produce something in the kitchen. And then it was all him talking in the background. So it wasn't, I couldn't sort of like use it. So, which was a real shame. But yeah, maybe I will go back to sort of like doing the cakes that I'm baking, like set up the camera in a certain way, maybe, and sort of talk about what I'm baking and stuff like that. So maybe that might be something. And winter's coming. And I know I will be doing a lot of, like yesterday, Mark's brother, and so Ben and Siobhan, Mark's brother and his girlfriend, were staying with us, and I made us a seafood curry. And really, I should have shown. I have done a curry on here before. This one was slightly different. And maybe I should have done that, but I didn't end up doing it. But yeah, there are things. They're good suggestions, and they're things to think about. So I will sort of do one. Might not be one every day, but it might be. But yeah, you're right. It's a good suggestion. Thank you. Okay. Let's have a look. I made friends with people that like my videos. Yes, I'm doing so well on YouTube so far. I'm trying to get the step to get 1 million. Do you know what? I hope you do, because that would be great. Do you know what I mean? It'd be lovely to get even for us to get a 1 million YouTube subscribers. That would be awesome. Can you imagine? That'd be so lovely. I'm going to try TikToks for the business. Oh wow! And some videos on Facebook. YouTube, just the shorts might help get some followers. Maybe. Uh, Yes, how to make short videos holistic. Yeah, I think definitely for your business doing little TikToks would be brilliant. Um, I want to try once. I am a little better and stronger. Yeah, of course. I will do some business vids and some paranormal vids, etc. Really? Some paranormal ones. Wow. Do you know what? So let me just I'm going to go in a minute, but I just want to quickly talk about two series that I've watched recently. And one of them is called Banshee, and the other one is called Evil. And Evil is a paranormal one, but it's very much like I don't know if you remember X-Files. So it's very similar to X-Files, where so you had Mulder and you had Scully, and Mulder believed in extraterrestrials and Scully didn't. She just thought that there was a reasonable explanation for everything. Well, this is similar in the sense you have somebody who's training to be a priest, and then you have two people that flank him who uh, think that they are just normal sort of explanations to things. And it's really, really interesting. It's really like this, it's quite jumpy in place, quite scary. And I feel with Banshee it's a bit naughty, so make sure you're over 18 when you're watching Banshee. And yeah, I feel like with Evil it's a bit like yeah, it's about the occult, but it's comedic at the same time. So it's quite scary. It's comedic. Yeah, and it's just like, what, really? So yeah, those are two that I've been watching this week. If you're interested. Anyway, I am going to leave you guys now. I'm going to go. I haven't had any dinner, so I'm going to go have some dinner. I don't know if I'm having takeaway or I don't know if I'm cooking, but we'll see. Um, I will sub you in a bit. Oh, bless you. That's so nice of you, Aoife. Anyway, guys, I hope you are well. As Mark always says, be safe, take care. Remember, you're never too old to have fun. And we shall be back on Tuesday. Mark's going to be running a little bit late, but I shall be here. All right, guys, take care. Have a safe weekend. Have a good weekend. And hopefully catch you all on Tuesday. All right, bye for now. Take care. Bye. Oh,